And let's not overlook the element of fantasy in all of this. The bad boy is often seen as someone who is unpredictable, mysterious, and difficult to understand. This mystery creates an aura of intrigue, something that pulls women in. The idea of unraveling the enigma of the bad boy can feel like a challenge, an intellectual and emotional puzzle that once solved promises to offer something deeply satisfying. But the psychological pull of the bad boy doesn't just end with the attraction itself. There's also something about the dynamic between the bad boy and the woman that creates an emotional roller coaster. The emotional highs and lows that often accompany relationships with bad boys can create a kind of addiction. The thrill of the chase, the excitement of being with someone who seems so unattainable, can make the relationship feel like a drug. The more unpredictable the bad boy is, the more he keeps her on edge, the more a woman might crave his attention. This creates a cycle of emotional push and pull, where the woman feels a rush of excitement when the bad boy gives her attention, followed by feelings of insecurity or doubt when he pulls away. This emotional intensity can trigger an addictive response in the brain, where the woman starts to crave more of the high and low cycle that the bad boy provides. Psychologists often refer to this as intermittent reinforcement, which is a powerful motivator for behavior. It's the idea that when a reward, in this case, the bad boy's attention or affection, is given unpredictably, it makes the recipient work harder to get it. This kind of reinforcement creates a sense of uncertainty and anticipation, which makes the reward feel more valuable when it does come. It's a psychological mechanism that can keep a woman hooked on the relationship, even when it's not in her best interest. It's a classic example of how attraction can sometimes be driven by a need for validation, or the desire to feel wanted, even if that validation comes in an unstable or unhealthy form. This emotional roller coaster, though, doesn't just have to do with the bad boy's behavior. It also involves a woman's own sense of self-worth and her beliefs about love. For some women, the idea of being with someone who is hard to get, or someone who is a challenge, can validate their sense of desirability. In this sense, being in a relationship with a bad boy can become a way to prove their own value. If the bad boy, with all his flaws and imperfections, chooses them, it reinforces their belief that they are worthy of love and affection. The idea of winning the bad boy over can feel like a victory, an affirmation of their attractiveness or their ability to connect with someone who is otherwise difficult to reach. But of course, the very traits that make the bad boy so appealing, his unpredictability, his risk-taking, his emotional distance, can also create a sense of emotional turmoil. Women who are in relationships with bad boys often experience emotional highs and lows, and these fluctuations can be exhausting. They may find themselves constantly wondering where they stand with the bad boy, feeling anxious or uncertain about his commitment, and questioning whether the relationship is truly healthy. Despite this, the emotional intensity can keep them hooked. It's the conflict between the desire for excitement and the need for stability that makes the dynamic so complex. It's important to understand that not all women are consciously aware of these psychological dynamics. Many of the factors driving attraction to bad boys operate on an unconscious level. Women might not fully understand why they are drawn to a certain type of man, or why they feel so strongly about a relationship that seems to be so fraught with instability. The emotional pull of the bad boy is not always rational. It's driven by a combination of biological instincts, psychological needs, and personal experiences that shape the way women approach love and relationships. At the end of the day, the psychology of attraction is complex. Women are not universally attracted to bad boys, nor are they always looking for the same qualities in a partner. Each person's individual experiences, beliefs, and desires play a significant role in shaping who they find attractive. The bad boy may embody traits that some women find irresistible, but this doesn't mean that all women will be drawn to him. There are countless other factors that influence attraction, from shared values and interests to emotional compatibility and mutual respect. However, understanding why some women are drawn to bad boys can offer valuable insight into the complexity of human relationships. It's not just about surface-level traits like appearance or charm. It's about deeper psychological needs, evolutionary instincts, and emotional dynamics that influence the way we connect with one another. The bad boy may be a symbol of excitement, freedom, and strength, but the attraction to him is just one piece of the puzzle in understanding human behavior and the psychology of attraction. As we reach the conclusion of this exploration into the psychology of attraction, it's important to reflect on the broader picture of what the bad boy represents, not just in individual relationships, but in the grand scheme of human behavior. The bad boy, with all his contradictions, confidence mixed with emotional distance, power intertwined with unpredictability, speaks to something much deeper within us. He taps into our desires for passion, excitement, and novelty, while also highlighting our insecurities and our need for validation. Attraction, after all, is never just about choosing someone who meets a simple list of ideal qualities. It's a multi-layered, intricate process shaped by our unconscious needs, societal influences, and personal experiences.